Welcome to the Leadership in Law podcast with host Marilyn Jenkins. Cut through the noise, get actionable insights and inspiring stories delivered straight to your ears. Your ultimate podcast for navigating the ever-changing world of law firm ownership. In each episode, we dive deep into the critical topics that matter most to you, from unlocking explosive growth to building a thriving team. We connect you with successful firm leaders and industry experts who share their proven strategies and hard-won wisdom. So, whether you're a seasoned leader or just starting your journey as a law firm owner, the Leadership in Law podcast is here to equip you with the knowledge and tools you need to build a successful and fulfilling legal practice.
Welcome to another episode of the Leadership in Law podcast. I'm your host, Marilyn Jenkins. Please join me in welcoming my guest, Elizabeth Miller, to the show today. I'm excited to have you here, Elizabeth. Welcome.
Thank you. I'm excited to be here. It's always fun to do these things.
Absolutely. So tell us about yourself and about what you do.
Oh my gosh, how much time do you have? I've been doing this for probably over 30 years now. I started out as a legal secretary and moved on up to law office administrator. And for almost the past 10 years, I can't believe it's been 10 years already. I've had a business from lawyer to law firm. I've published several books. And essentially what we do is help attorneys with the administrative stuff for their office, billing, staff training, just anything that comes under administrative. My thought process kind of is attorneys should be billing their clients and we should be doing the other stuff. So that's pretty much it in the nutshell. I love what I do. I'll probably do this till I retire.
Very cool. So you helped with setting up processes, hiring, and trying to make it the business of their dreams instead of the job of their nightmare.
It's funny that you should say that. Do you know, so many attorneys have called me and have said, that's it, I'm done. I'm throwing in the towel. I'm not, and within 2 or 3 months that we work with them, suddenly they're like, oh my God, I can't believe I was going to throw in the towel. This is wonderful, but you can't do everything. I mean, I know you just can't do everything. Either you're going to be the lawyer or you're going to be the administrator, and you've got to pick which one you're going to be.
True. I mean, finding the right teammates, and building the right team will certainly make the difference. Hiring A players and, getting people in that can actually do the things that you don't want to do is hugely important.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And it's really funny because in the last, 3, 4, when did COVID come out? Like in 2020, my gosh, it's been 4 years already. And, some of the people that are out there are just not A players. Let's put it that way. So now it's harder than ever to find really good people, and you need to know what you're looking for and, that kind of thing, but you can still build that A team.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, just have the right assessments and tests and, the old saying, hire personality and train what you want.
Exactly. Well, what is it then? I can teach everybody anything except work ethic. If you don't have work ethic, if you're not devoted to your job, I'm not saying like 24/7, but at least in the 8 hours that you're getting paid for.
Right.
If you're not devoted to your job or whatever, I can't teach you that. I can teach anything else.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I've had to struggle with that myself and building a team. And I'm just happy that we have an absolute team of rock stars now, but it was a grind finding some of those. So
it was rough for me. It took me a long, long time. Brenda Ross is my colleague and she works with me and she's been doing this for over 20 years. And I never thought that, I don't know why I didn't think that she would ever want to come and do this, but she loves it as much as I do. But, it's real, and it's really hard to trust people. I mean, you're trusting people with your business, they screw up and you've got a bar grievance or you've got a lawsuit or you've got, whatever. So it's just really tough.
It is. It is. So you went from being a certified paralegal to running your own business. What gave you the idea to do that? I mean, what was your impetus to make that leap?
It's really funny. I'm not really sure what happened. In 2015, I had taken a job in Montana, of all places, with a 500 attorney law firm up there. I mean, in the middle of winter, I'm moving to Montana. Okay. So anyway, shortly after that, I got into a car accident. I mean, it was a bad car accident. My car was totaled and everything. And I came home and I didn't realize how bad I was hurt. And I got a job. And then the doctor said, "Hey, you need some time off." And I gave notice and they said, "Well, if you need time off, that's great, but then we don't need you." And so in that interim, I started thinking, what do I want to do? So I went on a job interview after, I was feeling better. And it kind of happened by accident because the attorney said to me, "What hours do you want to work?" And I thought, what hours do I want to work? I want to work all of them. What do you? It turned out it was a part-time job. And I said, well, I'm the breadwinner. I can, and the attorney said to me, "Hey, if I get you more clients that you could do, this kind of work for, would you do it?" And by the end of the month, I had 3 more clients and I was on
Wow.
my way. So it was like being in the right place at the right time.
The writing was on the wall. Wow, that's pretty
It
amazing.
was. Yeah, I mean, things to I started doing webinars, I have written several books, I've done speaking it like mushroom. I mean,
Wow.
it was just amazing, but I'm really excited about it.
Well, okay, what about your experience makes you the exception at what you do?
Oh, that's the one thing that I really think makes me the exception, and you can probably appreciate this, Marilyn, because I think you're cut from like that same cloth. I really care.
Mm.
I really, really care. I care about my clients. I care that they want to do a good job. I care if they make money. It's not just get in there and do the work, get my check, go home, I'm done. It's like this ongoing, I want to make sure that they're doing well. I want to make sure they're happy. I want to make sure their clients are happy. And I will always go the extra mile. And I think that's the difference. I see people out there advertising, doing the same stuff that I do, but they just don't care. It's just a business to them. And to you and me, it's more than that. It's our reputation, it's everything. And one thing I always say about a reputation, when yours is tarnished, that's it. You can buy anything, but you can't buy a reputation. When your reputation is gone, that's it. I don't know how you make a comeback from that.
Yeah, true. I agree. I mean, we personally, my team and I, we believe in over communication.
Hmm.
Making sure that people have the right expectations and over delivering. And I think that people see that in the work that you do and the clients you have and the way you approach a project, that you do understand what is your process. So say a new attorney gives you a call, what's your process to get started with them?
Probably a meeting, with the attorney. We review what their goals are, what they think their issues are. We also speak with their staff because what the attorney thinks the issues are and what the staff thinks the issues are usually two very separate and distinct things.
Right.
And the other thing I tell attorneys too is they will confide in me and say, well, this is not the way this should happen. This is not the way that should happen. Things that they would never say to the attorney, but they're going to tell me. But I guess one big thing is that when I talk to the employees, I always say, I'm not going back to Mr. X and saying, well, this person said this and this person said that. My goal is to solve the problems. I'm not there to finger point. I just want to resolve the issues, whatever they are. And that's usually the starting point. And then from there, we make a plan.
So do you could look at, so say now you've got your team settled and the issues resolved, so things seem to be running very well. Do you look at like, what is your revenue goal? What is so are you looking at the life goals of the attorney and then working backwards from what they currently have? Is it some type of process like that, or am I completely off base?
Actually, no, you're not completely off base. It's actually what things that we look at, or, we look at everything.
Mhm.
The first thing that we look at are what I consider to be the emergencies, and then we go, okay, now what is the plan out 3 years? What is the plan out 5 years? How do you plan to get new clients? How do you plan to get a better class of clients? Attorneys can get people that will pay $2,500 for a divorce all day long, but when they rather have better clients, better paying clients, better, whatever. So we kind of do things in order. Like I said, the emergencies first. One of the big emergencies to me is billing. That's that's always that's always a big deal. We look at it, and I'm telling you, I swear to you, Marilyn, I don't know how they do it, but there are some attorneys that go 6 months and they do not bill a client. And
Wow.
I don't know how they're running their firm. I do know how they're running their firm. They're running it off of retainers. They're taking on new cases, non-refundable retainers, and that's how they're running the firm. But in the meantime, all these other files, they're not being billed, they're not being worked. That to me is an emergency. That's something that needs
Right.
attention. Right.
Right, right. Gather, you need to have all the revenue in place before you start deciding to get busier and bigger.
Well, absolutely.
Yeah.
Either that or they're independently wealthy and they're going to run the law firm off the money in their pocket and they're not going to worry about billing clients. I haven't met
Right. That's
somebody
crazy.
else do that though.
No, that sounds pretty amazing. So, what are some of the biggest challenges that you've run into in working with law firms?
The biggest challenges, probably one of them is that attorneys think that I'm their yes person, that I'm going to rubber stamp everything that they say. And honestly, when I first meet with the client, I tell them right up front, listen, I'm not your yes ma'am. I'm not going to rubber stamp everything you say. I'm not going to agree with you, but, they need to hear the cold, hard facts.
Right.
And if they want somebody to go, yes, 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 then you know what? They need to go hire somebody else because that's just not me. That is not going to accomplish anything. 6 months down the road, they're going to be in the same position that they're in right now. Only now they got me on, they're paying me to say yes, yes, yes. And
Right.
that just doesn't work.
Well, I think having a second set of eyes makes a difference. A friend of mine says you can't see the full picture if you're in the frame. So having somebody that's a yes person is only going to keep showing you the part that you're seeing and not showing you the part you don't see.
Yep, absolutely. And you know what? For some attorneys, that's what they want. They want somebody who's going to yes them to death. And, that's great. But I am not going to waste my time or their money. I'm not going to take their money when I'm not doing anything or accomplishing anything for them. I mean, yeah, maybe I should take their money. I don't know. But I just can't. I need to sleep at night too. I need to wake up. When I look in the mirror, I need to go, you're doing an honest day's work for an honest day's pay and not just collecting the checks.
Exactly. Yeah. Ethics. I agree. When a client hires you, how do you calculate the return on investment?
Well, first of all, with billing, we can calculate it almost immediately because of the money that's coming in. There's several different ways to do it. Building a client base, looking at the marketing, seeing, what are we putting out versus what are we getting in, and attorneys need to understand all those things need to be looked at. We need to be looking at the marketing. I know some lawyers that go, oh yeah, I'll try that, and they throw money at it and then they just let it go and do whatever, and they never check on it, and they never, I mean, you're in the same
Yeah.
business that I'm in. And it's amazing that they put out this money and they're not concerned with the return on investment. I mean, like, how can you not worry about that?
No, I absolutely agree. I had a client at one point that came to me because he's like, I don't really know what's been going on. So we analyzed what was going on, what kind of processes he was paying for and what he was getting out of it. And it basically spent for 6 months. And when we tracked it back, he had gotten maybe 3 cases in 6 months. And it's like, oh, well, I've been busy, but those cases aren't coming from all the marketing that he was spending. So
Mhm.
analyzing each portion of your business is hugely important, and
Oh, absolutely. I couldn't agree with you more. I mean, and not even, going, oh, well, I'll look at this in 6 months. I'm sorry, but I am on this stuff. You need to look at it every month. You need to see what's happening. There's a fall off. What happened? Is it a slow month? I mean, in like family law, we know, the summers aren't going to be busy, but when the kids go back to school, it's going to be busy until the holidays come. And then it's quiet over the holidays because everybody's doing the holidays. And then it starts up again. So, knowing all of that, factoring that into marketing and everything,
Mhm.
if you really are paying attention, you can really get your money's worth out of it.
Right, right. There's a lot of practice areas are cyclical. Some are, of course, always, but yeah, I
Mhm.
agree. Knowing those things and then working with a marketing team that will change the marketing in your slow time. And also, we do database reactivation, which is huge. And a lot of attorneys don't do that. You're sitting on a past number of clients, all this email list. Why not reach out and see if there's anything you could do for them? Low hanging
Yep.
fruit, revenue opportunity.
Yep. Oh, absolutely. I mean, they talk all the time about client retention, and the best source of referrals are past clients that you do, but nobody bothers with that. Like, they're done and you're finished and they get pushed to the side, and there's never any thought process about reaching out to them or, whatever. I have a client that answers every Google review.
Nice.
Everybody that gives a Google review, we write, thank you for, your Google review. We appreciate it. Please feel free to reach out to us anytime in the future, whatever. Everybody gets a response. I don't know too many people that say, yeah, go ahead and do that, you
Yeah.
know,
But
but
you should. Every review should be responded to,
yeah,
good or bad. Absolutely. It tells your future client that you care and how you respond
exactly.
to good and
Exactly.
bad.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Because it's nice to see the good reviews, but it's nice to see that the attorney took the time to respond to that good review. That
Yeah.
to me would be real important.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So it sounds like you've helped a lot of aspects of a business to get this lawyer into and law firm business. What is the sweet spot as far as team size where you would come in? Should they have a team? Can you help a solo? What would be your ideal client?
My ideal client is anybody that pays me. I'm just kidding. Actually, we help all size firms. I've worked with solo practitioners who wanted to, grow a bit. I've worked with large firms. Right now we have a firm. It's probably about 40 people. We're working with the personal injury firm. with their intake department to get their intake department going and, get things done quickly and that kind of thing. So it all depends on what you need, but there's like not any particular sweet spot. And
Okay.
yeah, I like it that way because life is never boring. Everybody has different problems. So, it keeps life interesting, I guess.
Right. Right. So then if an attorney could only afford to hire you for like one thing, what would that one thing be that would be, say, the biggest impact you could have on them?
I would, if it's a client that does hourly billing, I would say their billing because that is to me, that is like number two. Number one is doing, the lawyer doing the work, but number two is doing the billing. And if the money's not coming in, there's no firm. So I think that doing the billing, getting that going will even give them the funds to go, okay, now I can concentrate on this. Now I can do some staff training. Now I can do, whatever it might be. But to me, the billing is the most important. And I see people on Facebook, I see all the groups, and I'm sure you do too. You know, oh, I can't get people to pay. People aren't paying their bills. People aren't this. And it's so funny because I think to myself, did you send them a bill? Have you sent them a bill? Do you bill every 6 months or do you bill? I have a client that bills once a week. Okay. Once a week, over 200 clients once a week. But guess what? There's no AR. There's nothing
Yeah.
owed. And they don't pay, he's out. And that's it. And it works great. I mean, he's doing fabulous. Now, would I want to do that for everybody? No, because there's an awful lot of time involved in that. But definitely every
Right.
2 weeks. I mean, if you send people a bill and they don't pay, you need to get out. I mean, I hate to say it, but unless you're running a charitable organization, which I think very few attorneys are, you either need to get paid or you need to get out. And it's unfortunate, but that's how it is.
It is. I do find it mind numbing that someone would not do billing. And I know other business owners, they're like, well, we sent an invoice and then you did the work and then they didn't pay. So did you remind them? Well, it's in
Mhm.
our contract that there's a fee, blah, blah, blah. But if you never send another invoice, you never send another bill, a past due bill, you've got to do that. Because some people, life gets in the way and they might have misplaced it or forgotten it. I'm thinking of them being honest, not just ducking out of your bills, that billing is incredibly important.
Well, I tell clients there's a reason why your mortgage is due on the 1st and your car payment is due on the 20th and the water bill, because you know that those bills are going to come due that day. So it makes sense to send out your legal bills on the 15th or on the 30th because they know it's going to come and they know they're going to have to pay. I mean, I was doing billing for an attorney one time. I swear I will never forget this. And we were doing it every month. And I said to him, okay, when is the next time that we're going to do billing? And he says, well, it'll be 6 weeks instead of a month because I'm going on a trip to wherever. And I said, are you kidding me? You're going to bill them in 6 weeks? This is going to screw up the whole system. People are going to be expecting bills. They're not going to get them. They're going to spend that money. Then they're going to get a bill and they're going to go, I don't have the money to pay this. You just can't do that. People need to know when their bills are coming.
And why would you wait until you get back from vacation to bill your client? Do you
I
leave
don't
it
know.
sitting at the desk for the bill to go out? I don't understand that.
I don't understand that either because for most of my clients, when it's billing time, I just do the bills, send them out, whatever, and they really don't have any involvement at all. I mean, I have a few people that want to see the pre-bills, But, other than that, no, do the bills, send them out. As long as the money's coming in, they're happy,
Yeah. Wow.
you
Very
know,
interesting.
and I would be too.
If everything works as it should. Absolutely. Well, Elizabeth, this has been great. Tell us a little bit about your book. I do want to, and I want to put a link to your book in the show notes, but tell us a little bit about your book.
Which,
Lawyer to, I know which one, Lawyer to Law Firm.
well, that's book that I wrote a few years ago. It actually is like a guide to how to open an office, how to hire people. It's kind of everything. Now it's a little outdated because it was 7 years ago, but I'm going to be, updating it soon, writing a new one. And we've put out a couple of other books too, Hacking Billable Hours for people that, want to do billing, how to do billing, what not to do, whatever. The latest book was Delegate or Suffocate, how to stop doing everything yourself, which that's a big deal. Attorneys think that they need to do everything, and it doesn't work that way. So, yeah. So anybody that wants a book, anybody that needs one can just drop me an email or something, and I'll be happy to send them, copies of my books.
I'm excited about the newest book that's come out. It's just been recently released, right? The Delegate or Suffocate.
Yes. Yes. It just came out in the last few weeks. Yes. Yeah.
Excellent. Okay.
Yeah. I really like it because it also it kind of explains how by having, associates and other people doing work, how you can increase the income to the firm because you're not doing everything,
Oh,
and I think sometimes attorneys have trouble getting that concept.
right. Right. And it is a breakthrough when they finally get to delegating. And it's a freedom, it's it, you want a lifestyle. You don't want to have to be chained to your desk. So I think that's an incredibly important thing to teach.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I wouldn't want to be chained to my desk either.
No, it's like you have to get over the mentality. I know some people have the mentality, only I can do it as good, right? I'm the only one that can do this correctly. And that you've got to get rid of that to grow a team and to grow the business that you want.
Well, to tell you the truth, I had to get over that a long time ago. And once I got over it, then I was able to teach it because I had that mentality as well. Nobody can do it as well as me. They're going to screw it up anyway. So forget it. I'll just do it myself. But it took a while, but I had to get out of that mentality in
Mhm.
order to make other people understand how it works.
Yeah, very good. Well, and so I'm going to get, can you tell us where we can get your books? And
And
can we just reach out to you?
yeah, they can reach out to me. Hacking Billable Hours and Delegate or Suffocate is available on Amazon. But if they reach out to me, I'll be happy to send them copies. Also, the original book from Lawyer to Law Firm, How to Manage a Successful Law Business, I'll be happy to send it to anyone that wants one.
Okay, great. Well, where can we connect with you if we want to follow you?
Well, let's see. I'm all over Facebook. Oh my God. And I have a page on Facebook. It's called From Lawyer to Law Firm. People can email me at Liz at fromlawyertolawfirm.com, or they can feel free to call me. The number is 813-340-9569.
Okay, great. I'll make sure that all of that's in the show notes as well. This has been very enlightening, Elizabeth. Thank you so much for your time today.
Well, thank you, Marilyn. I'm glad we had a chance to catch up. It seems like it's been a long time since we talked.
It has. It has. Well, thank you so much. Thanks for joining me today for this episode. As we wrap up, I'd love for you to do two things. First, subscribe to this podcast so you don't miss an episode. And if you find value here, I'd love it if you would rate it and review it. That really does make a difference in helping other people to discover this podcast. Second, you can connect with me on LinkedIn to keep up with what I'm currently learning and thinking about. And if you're ready to take the next step with a digital strategist to help you grow your law firm, I'd be honored to help you. Just go to lawmarketingzone.com to book a call with me. Stay tuned for our next episode next week. Until then, as always, thanks for listening to Leadership in Law Podcast,
And be sure to subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts so you don't miss the next episode.
Thanks for joining us on another episode of the Leadership in Law Podcast. Remember, you're not alone on this journey. There's a whole community of law firm owners out there facing similar challenges and striving for the same success. Head over to our website at lawmarketingzone.com. From there, connect with other listeners, access valuable resources, and stay up to date on the latest episodes. Don't forget to subscribe and leave us a review on your favorite podcast platform. Until next time, keep leading with vision and keep growing your firm.